Welcome to today's explainer. Okay, let's get right into it because today we're tackling a massive silent issue that is honestly affecting almost every single one of us every single day. If you've been feeling mysteriously fatigued, struggling with that brutal afternoon brain fog, or just feeling generally sluggish, you probably think, hey, I just need another cup of coffee, or I really need more sleep. But the evidence actually points to a completely different fundamental truth. You're most likely experiencing a daily hydration crisis. So today we're going to break down exactly what is causing that fatigue and how you can completely vitalize your body from the inside out. Now, to kick things off, take a look at this tiny number, 1 to 3%. Usually when we think of dehydration, we picture someone lost in a desert, completely parched, right? But biologically speaking, losing just a tiny fraction, literally between 1 and 3% of your body's water weight, triggers immediate, measurable physical and mental consequences. And honestly, those consequences are surprisingly severe. A fluid loss of just 1 to 3% absolutely tanks your working memory, sours your mood, and completely ruins your concentration. To put that into perspective, for someone weighing 150 pounds, that's only about 1.5 to 4.5 pounds of water weight. And this mild level of dehydration, it happens so easily, just doing totally normal everyday things like sitting at your desk, breathing, or taking a light walk. Basically, your body's function is fundamentally altered way before your brain even bothers to send you the signal that you're thirsty. Which brings us to Section 1, the hidden hydration crisis. What happens when the well runs dry? Well, it leads to what experts at the National University of Health Sciences call the thick blood crisis. Think about it. When your body doesn't have enough water, your blood literally becomes thicker. And because it's thicker, your heart is forced to go into complete overdrive. It has to work significantly harder just to pump that sludgy blood through your vessels. This cardiovascular strain drastically slows down the delivery of oxygen and vital nutrients to your muscles and your brain. So you know that sudden wave of exhaustion you get at 3 p.m.? Yeah, that's often just your body desperately struggling to pump thickened blood. Let's move on to Section 2, fueling your brain, hydration for cognition and clarity. Get this, your brain is made up to 80% water. 80%! The vital electrical signals firing between your neurons, the literal impulses that allow you to think and remember and react, they rely completely on proper hydration to travel effectively. When your body's water level drops, those electrical signals literally slow down. A hydrated brain gives you rapid electrical signals, crystal clear focus, and a beautifully balanced mood. But a dehydrated brain, that is a direct one-way ticket to brain fog, fatigue, and even increased anxiety. Actually, dehydration is one of the biggest primary triggers for headaches. There was this fascinating clinical study where men who just added an extra 1.5 liters of water to their daily intake saw major, easily measurable improvements in their migraine and headache symptoms. And they did it just by giving their brain the fluid it physically needed to function. All right, Section 3, physical performance, the human machine. The really crucial takeaway here is that a mere 2% drop in your body's water content causes a highly noticeable decline in your physical performance. Down just 2%, and your body actively struggles to control its own internal temperature. Your physical fatigue spikes, exercise feels mentally and physically way harder, and your motivation, it just completely plummets. You can really think of water as the ultimate mechanic for the human machine. It acts as your internal shock absorber, lubricating all your joints, and keeping your cartilage nice and soft so you can actually move without pain. It's also your essential internal cooling system, regulating your body temperature through sweat so you don't overheat. Plus, since your muscles are also about 80% water, staying properly hydrated actually reduces the oxidative stress that ends up damaging your muscle tissue during physical activity. Moving into Section 4, the filtration system, immunity and digestion. So your immune system doesn't just sit in one organ, right? It flows. Picture your blood, your lymph nodes, and your intercellular fluids as these massive watery highways. Without enough water, traffic on those highways basically comes to a dead standstill. Your white blood cells absolutely need these fluid routes to travel around to fight inflammation and flush out toxins. If you're dehydrated, your immune system slows way down and your internal defenses are totally compromised. Beyond just immunity, water is your primary filtration and digestive aid. It lets your kidneys easily flush out toxins, which significantly lowers your risk of developing brutal things like urinary or kidney stones. It keeps your digestion moving along smoothly, relieving constipation. Especially, by the way, if you're drinking mineral water that's rich in magnesium and sodium. Oh, and yes, since alcohol is a massive diuretic that strips your body of water, rehydrating is literally the #1 way to reduce the terrible headache and dry mouth of a hangover. And this amazing filtration system even extends right to your body's outer shield, your skin. A really cool clinical study proved that just adding 2 liters of water to a daily diet significantly improved both superficial and deep skin hydration, along with biomechanical elasticity. Healthy skin genuinely begins from within. You can physically plump your skin layers and biologically slow the signs of aging, cutting down the need for crazy expensive external cosmetics simply by drinking enough water. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, Daily Hydration, creating your custom blueprint. So, how do we actually build this personalized blueprint? Forget the old 8 glasses a day rule, because there isn't a single one-size-fits-all answer. For instance, the Mayo Clinic recommends about 11.5 cups of total daily fluids for women and 15.5 cups for men. But the National University of Health Sciences offers a really fantastic personalized metric. They say to aim for half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you should be aiming for roughly 75 ounces of water every single day. Now, I know what you're thinking. If 75 ounces sounds like a totally daunting amount of liquid to just chug, don't panic. You do not have to drink every single drop of your goal from a literal glass. Roughly 20%, a full fifth of your daily water intake, naturally comes from the food you eat. This is where you can use what I like to call stealth hydration tactics. So many fruits and vegetables are almost entirely water by weight. Stuff like cantaloupe, strawberries, watermelon, cabbage, squash, cucumbers. Incorporating these is a brilliant, delicious way to easily sneak extra hydration and essential nutrients into your body without constantly walking around clutching a water bottle. Okay, and you have to hear about this highly actionable science-backed hack if you're looking to manage your weight. Simply timing your water intake can literally alter your metabolism. A study showed that dieters who drank 16.9 ounces, so about half a liter of water, exactly 30 minutes before their meals, felt way more full, consumed fewer calories, and amazingly lost 44% more weight over 12 weeks compared to the people who didn't. It is just a brilliant, simple biological trick that bumps up your satiety and gives your metabolic rate a natural little boost. Now, to be thorough and completely objective here, we do need to look at the far end of the spectrum. According to the Mayo Clinic, there is a condition known as hyponatremia. This happens when you drink way too much water, which basically overwhelms the kidneys and dangerously dilutes your blood sodium levels. Now, while this is exceptionally rare for the average adult, it is definitely a risk to be aware of for extreme endurance athletes who might overhydrate while prepping for really intense, grueling workouts. But for the vast majority of us, the daily struggle is simply getting enough. So how do you know if you're actually hitting the mark? Here is your super simple optimal hydration checklist. You know you are well hydrated if, number 1, you rarely actually feel thirsty. Number 2, your urine is colorless or light yellow. And number 3, you've got high energy and clear mental focus all day without that horrible afternoon crash. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. Take a look at your day so far. Are you secretly running on empty? Ask yourself, when was your exact last glass of water? If you can't remember, or if you've been fighting through a thick mental fog all day long, your brain and your body are likely begging for a reboot. Don't wait until you're completely parched. Go grab a glass right now, give your system the actual fuel it needs, and just see how much better you feel. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay hydrated.